So today I have the pleasure of hosting a very unique MBA profile. She's a lawyer, a Miss India finalist, and now she's been accepted at IIM Ahmedabad, India's dream B school admission that can happen. So welcome to the show, Adya. It's been great that I chanced upon your profile online, and thanks for being ready to come on the show at such a short notice.
Hello, Anurag. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show.
So basically, for the uninitiated, she is a Ranchi girl. She's done her schooling from Ranchi, then did her law, and then was like a Miss India finalist. She was in the top 20 at the Pan India level. This contest was held in 2016 by the Bennett Coleman Group. She was also a faculty of VARC at Time Groups, and now she is joining IIM Ahmedabad. In fact, she's already virtually onboarded the course. So I'll straight away get into the questions, okay, Adya? So one instance from your schooling which really transformed you as a person.
So, actually, I have been a big time introvert at school, and even though I have a senior diploma in Kathak, I've been trained, I was a trained dancer since like 10 years, but still I never performed in school. I had this I was uncomfortable in performing in front of my peers and the people who know me. So, what happened was that in standard 10, one of my teachers, she somehow got to know that Ardya is a great Kathak dancer. So she introduced me to the dance teacher and they allowed me to have opening 2 or 3 performances solo in front in the annual function. And that was in front of the Chief Minister of Jharkhand at that time. And the Chief Minister was only there for like 10 or 15 minutes. That means only for the opening act. So that really boosted my confidence and it made me realize that, okay, I can perform on stage and it made me realize my potential basically.
And since your school days, like 11, 12 at Surendranath Centenary School, your looks would have killed so many, right? There would have been students who would not have been able to concentrate in their exams. And so basically you were like a criminal in some way, right? You murdered so many individuals. So then was that the trigger for your desire to become a lawyer, a legal eagle?
Actually, first I would like to answer the first part. That is, it is completely contrary to what you're saying. I was a very awkward teenager. I was like very scrawny, and as I told you, I was an introvert, like a huge introvert. So no, I did not have that experience. And the reason why I decided to study law is because of my grandfather. He was an engineer plus a lawyer, which is like very absurd. But then he was of the opinion that women should study law because it is very empowering, because it boosts your confidence. You know what things you should tolerate and what you should not. So I really wanted to study law as a subject.
Okay, so how did you go about preparing for the CLAT and how did you gain entry into this college? How was your law experience, your internships?
So basically, CLAD, it was like sort of easy for me because CLAD is like CAT. Okay. Only thing the level is easier definitely, and there are no sectional markings and all. So like I have always been an avid reader, so I was very good at sections like VARC, then sections like legal aptitude and logical reasoning, all these things, and even general knowledge to a large extent. Only maths was my weak point, so it was fairly easy for me to get into NLU Ranchi and Saral Ranchi in my first attempt itself because it was an aptitude test, right? So
And how is
it
this
was
law course? There are so many internships that I saw on your LinkedIn profile. So it's like,
yes.
this is really interesting, law.
So it's a 5-year course, and it's not just a law course, it's BA plus LLB. It is integrated. Okay. So after every semester, we had 10 semesters. And after every semester, we get an internship break. So we can, but the internship is optional. We can go for the internship or not. So I did pursue some internships while my college was going on. So yeah, I have diverse internship experiences, but then all of that is part of the curriculum.
Okay. And then did modeling happen more as serendipity? Did you just stumble upon this because Femina Miss India Top 20? That's big. You were like a runner up at the Kolkata level. And then this entire career surrounding glamour, like, is it not just being blessed with good looks, or is it a lot of hard work down the ramp? So what exactly is this career all about? Is there a lot of money also in this? I saw you had a YouTube ad on FBB also. So is this a lot of money also involved here? Just tell us about this exciting experience, because this is what makes you really unique in terms of that entire cohort who will be joining IMA this year.
So the thing is that yes, it was serendipity. Okay, I had never planned for this in my life. Okay, but then because I was good at dance, so my dance class was conducting a local pageant. So in that, they really pushed me to participate while I was in my second semester of law school. So I was, I think, 17 years old at that time. Okay, so they pushed me to participate in that. It was called Miss Jharkhand, and I won it at once. So that really boosted my confidence. And some of my mother's friends, they sent this form for Miss India and Miss Diva, and then I filled the form, and then I participated in the auditions. And yeah, so it all happened one after the other. It was not at all planned, and um, it was a big deal. So I went on pursuing it as um, with a lot of hard work. So it involves a lot of hard work. That's what I'm trying to say. And you asked me whether it's about just looks. So it is a huge misconception, because I mean, I won't lie, looks is uh, necessary for a till a certain point. Like, you need to be of a certain height, and you need to be thin. But then after that, with makeup and light, doesn't matter how you look, because you will look good on the stage. Because there's so much going on, there's so much work going on around you, right? You're like a piece of art for all the makeup artists and all the designers. So they will ensure that you look good on in front of the camera. So, but then um, 1 month in Miss India, I spent 1 month there. The competition was for 1 month. There, I realized that I think this is the toughest thing I have been through in my life. And I do not think anything can be more tough than that. Because, first of all, you need to be very disciplined. Like, you have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and all the activities will continue late at night till 12 or 2 or something. So there's a lot of hard work involved. And secondly, like, when you are working or when you are in college, and at that time while you are studying or doing some project, and if you have to put in a lot of effort, then you can be frustrated, you can express your frustration, or you can, like, you can express everything that you are feeling, right? But there, you have to behave in a graceful manner. That's the whole point. You cannot express agitation in any way. And plus, you're always being scrutinized. So that teaches a lot. Like, those are lessons for life, which I do not think I can get from anywhere else.
Amazing. And so that moment of having that crown, I think it would have been epic. So I was seeing that you're all over social media. Just you search Adya Neeraj, and there's so many photographs, so many interviews. You
Yeah.
would be feeling really great amongst that entire audience.
Yes. So for the regional pageant, which was Miss India East, or they called it Miss India Kolkata at that time. So there I won the crown, and it was like really amazing. And that pageant was only for 7 days, or even less, like 4 or 5 days maybe. But still, that was also very tiresome. And after that, winning the crown was a huge deal for me, because, as I said, it all happened by chance. I had never planned for all this. But for the final pageant, I did not win the crown, right? And it was like very heartbreaking for me. But then that is what Miss India teaches you, like, you have to accept failure also with grace. That's the whole point. I mean, not just on stage, you don't have to just be graceful on stage, but then in life as well, you have to keep on pursuing things if you want, but then you have to realize that you will fail also. So that is what it teaches us.
So you are like well positioned to become a legal professional with all the internships at top-notch law school, and then you decided to go for an MBA. So what led to this career transition in your wish list?
Actually, the fact is that as I said before, that I really wanted to study law. but I wanted to study it. I want to become an entrepreneur in future, sometime in future. So that is why I wanted to pursue an MBA in the first place. So if by any chance I'm able to accommodate my law degree also in my profession, and I mean in my career later on, then it would be great. If not, then I'm open to new options, new avenues. But ultimately, I want to become an entrepreneur.
So, with a law background, what was your CAT preparation strategy? 96.69 was your percentile. How did you prepare? In fact, just for the audience, I would like to state that you have always also been a VARC faculty at time Ranchi. So, what
Yes.
was your CAT preparation strategy all this while? And then, while the shortlisting happened, also would you be parked in a separate bucket because of your diversity? Because the general engineer male in India cannot get a call at less than 99.9ish
Yeah.
kind of a percentile, and you got it at 96.69. So, tell us in terms of how the institutes look at diversity in terms of academics or the stupendous achievement of yours, like Miss India. How does this help in the interview?
So, for the first part of your question, that is my preparation strategy. I started my preparation like only 3 months before the exam. Okay. So the thing is that I wanted to give CAT, but then I was open to the idea of pursuing a legal career as well. I was doing a lot of work from home at that point of time. So I started my preparation 3 months before the exam, and I was like very excited about it. And the thing is that I've naturally been very good at reading comprehension, maybe because of my law studies and all. Like I can read long passages very fast, and I can understand the crux of all those passages very easily. So that was one thing I was naturally very good at. Secondly, even for logical reasoning, I was definitely very good because if you understand English, then you can, I think, solve all those problems, because there are like those problems depend on very little grammatical nuances. Like there would be an and somewhere, there would be a comma somewhere, so you have to understand the question properly. So these two things were like, I was okay at both these things. For quants and for data interpretation, those were the only challenges which I faced. And so thankfully, like my brother, okay, he is like very good at math. He's like a math whiz kid. He even got admission in at IISc. So he was there at home at that time. So he taught me everything. So I had to literally start studying from the basics, from the scratch, because for 5 years I had no association with maths or quants whatsoever. So the most basic things like profit loss and SIC, I had to learn all those concepts, which I had studied at 10, but I had completely forgotten. I had no knowledge of all those things. So yeah, that was very difficult. But then I kept on giving lots of mocks, and I was able to secure like not a very good score, but then okay, I still got 96.69 percentile.
Which study
But
material and test series did you take?
uh, I was constantly taking only time material. So I used to study from that. Another preparation strategy was that I only focused on the arithmetic part of cons, because had I tried to start studying log and every functions and all that, so that would have been very time taking. So I mainly focused on the arithmetic part. So that's how I made it through CAT. And after that, I think it was very easy for me, because I have been reading newspaper for the past 2 3 months, like every single day. I had the habit of reading the editorials. So for general knowledge and for interview, all these things were like very good, very smooth for me.
Tell us about this academic bucket of an arts background. How do you get some preference in terms of percentile, your interview experience at IIM Ahmedabad?
So the thing is that I actually do not know in detail. Right? If you open the website, then they have written some schemes and all, but I do not know in detail, so I really cannot comment on that. So, but it is there in the open. Otherwise, I mean, as far as I know, that they select the top percentile for different streams, like for art stream, for engineering, for even medical and all, they'll select the top percentile. So for the interview call, but and that interview call is not based on extracurricular, because after you get the call for interview, then you have to fill the form wherein you state all your extracurriculars, right? So I think only on the basis of law I was able to secure this interview call, and then after that it was fine. Like after that,
In the interview, did they ask you like some questions which had the carpet off your feet, and you were like, oh my god, how do I handle this question? And there are always like a couple of questions, certainly in the interview. The professors are seasoned interviewers that ways.
yes, so I think no, my interview was very, very smooth. Like it was a wonderful interview. Like getting the call for interview was surprising for me, but then securing admission at IIM Ahmedabad was not, because I knew that my interview was very nice. So
What did they ask you?
a very diverse range of questions. Like firstly, they asked me to introduce myself. Then they even asked me questions on CA and RC and all that. So I had to, you know, tell. I had to explain both the pros and cons from a legal perspective. What could be, and so that's what I had to give opinions as a lawyer from different points of view. Then they asked me several questions on my law subject. Like, for example, I have honors in international law. So they asked me questions like, what is a state? How does a nation become a nation? So all these things. And then from constitutional law, so they asked me so many questions. And then there were questions from corporate law and banking laws. So it was a very detailed interview, and but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
And in one of the interviews, I read that they even asked you, how will you survive at IMA?
Yes. So in IIM Ahmedabad interview itself, they asked me that.
And how did you
Yeah.
respond?
I honestly do not remember that right now. I said these things only that, my perspective would be very valuable because I come from a very different background, right? And IIM Ahmedabad is all about peer learning process, right? So I won't be able to bring those things to the table which other people are, like people from engineering or commerce backgrounds would bring. But I would bring something which they won't, right? So, so that is how I will survive at IIM Ahmedabad.
Okay. So as we head towards the final leg of this interview, what are your expectations from the Red Bricks? You've already onboarded the PGP class of 2022. So what are your
Yes.
expectations from campus? What kind of career are you looking forward to? Management consulting, specifically public policy? What
Yeah.
exactly?
So that is the thing about IIM Ahmedabad, right? It offers such diverse options. So I am not focusing on any one thing right now. I'm open to whatever seems attractive at that point. Like I originally thought that I would enter into finance, but then I did a marketing course at HUL, and now I'm like, marketing is so fun. Right? So I have got a lot of time to make up my mind, and I am open to anything right now.
What is your mantra for fun and fitness? How do you keep yourself? You will also be competing now in like events like chaos and all on stage. So you need to really ensure
Yes,
that you are fit and all that part.
yes. So the thing is that even while I was preparing for CAT, and even during the toughest days of my life, I ensure that I do certain things to certain leisure work. Like I want to exercise, so I do exercise all the time. Not all the time, like 2-3 times in a week. Okay, but still I do it frequently.
Proper
And
gym,
secondly,
proper
no,
gym.
no, 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 I do not have the time to go for a proper gym, and so I just exercise at home. And secondly, I do a lot of activities. I like to cook, and I like to read books and all these things. So while I'm studying as well, I ensure that I do these things because these keep me positive and fresh all the time. So I never let go of all these activities.
Final question: what would be your advice to youngsters, aspirants of the CA course, CAT, or CA course who would eventually land up in CAT, lawyers? What would be your mantra for them?
See, for example, a lot of people keep asking me on LinkedIn and other social media platforms that my profile is this, my percentage is this, will I be able to make it to ABC? Okay, so that's what I want to tell them. Stop thinking about all these things. You can never have a perfect CV or a perfect profile, right? So that does not mean that you give up on your dreams. Keep trying hard, keep giving your best. Okay, and ultimately don't care about the result. I mean, of course you would care, but don't think about it too much.
Okay,
That's all I want to say.
fantastic. So it's like, and this is coming from someone who has actually gone through a lot of uncertainty when it comes to, so for example, being on that final stage, you'd be so much
Yes.
anxious about the results, and then over the period of time you'd have realized that results really don't matter. It is your effort, and come what may, you
Yes.
need to be prepared for all eventualities.
Yes, because for example, there's so many people who give CAT like for 4 times or 5 times, and then they land up into a good college of their choice, right? So how are they able to do that? It's because of their perseverance and grit, right? I am lucky that I got through the first time. But then had I thought in this way that my profile is not great, then I would have never attempted CAT in the first place, right?
And what
You need to be very courageous.
and your personal motivation mantra which keeps you going all the while?
There is no motivation mantra as such. It's just that my parents keep reinforcing the fact in me that you can be whatever you want to be. So just give it your best, whether it is Miss India or doing an MBA or whatever. Just work hard, be sincere, and like don't think about the results again. Just give your best.
All right, fantastic. Adya, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I'm sure the viewers would have really loved it.
Thank you so much. It was really fun interacting with you.